Peace, loves. Thank you so much for joining me here in this moment. My name is Christina, and welcome to my channel. I want to talk about pregnancy depression. It's been such a real thing in my experience being pregnant. This is my first pregnancy. I didn't know that pregnancy depression was a real thing. When I discovered that I was pregnant, right after, I just went through a whirlwind of emotions, and that's when I started doing my research. I started discovering pregnancy rage. I started discovering depression, anxiety, all of these different things as it relates to pregnancy. Now, me, I'm a black woman, and I know that in the black community, um, it is not, when we talk about rage, we talk about anxiety, we talk about depression, a lot of black women experience this, but we don't get the same amount of grace or even help for that matter because, sometimes people just attribute that to the characteristics of a black woman, period. So I just remember when I first discovered that I was pregnant, I was going through extreme rage. And this rage was basically rooted in years of people pleasing, me feeling resentful and bitter from people pleasing, from um, having experiences that traumatized me, that scarred me, that left a stain on me, on my mind and on my heart, and me not acknowledging that I was angry, So I had this insatiable rage that just permeated through my entire being. And during that time, I was very vocal about it. I was making sure I was getting the help that I needed. I was talking to my partner. I was just going through the motions of allowing myself to feel, allowing that energy to be transmuted within me. And I felt like I overcame it. But I had another problem on my hands, depression, y'all. Pregnancy depression is a real thing. And I was very sad. I didn't want to leave the house, and this could also be attributed to the fatigue that women experience during pregnancy. This can be attributed to so many different things. So I remember about my second trimester, I just felt like crap. I felt like crap. Vegan, y'all, eating high raw. I definitely felt like the food was making me feel better, but ultimately, emotionally, I was just being taxed out. Now, during pregnancy, we women go through so many changes, so many hormonal changes, emotional changes that really affect us on a deep level. Our brains are literally being rewired and reshaped, and just things are just moving around, y'all. We are like literally going beyond boundaries. We have no boundaries in pregnancy. And I didn't really understand that, and the people around me didn't understand that. Heck, my partner didn't even understand that, bless his heart, really. And I just remember expressing myself and feeling like I was just so misunderstood because the people around me, they hadn't gone through what I was going through, so they couldn't have compassion for me. They couldn't extend grace towards me. They thought I was crazy. And so that furthered my depression. Fast forward to also eating vegan and eating high raw. My partner, bless his heart, a nutritionist. Yeah, he specializes in transitioning people into a healthier lifestyle, and people who are on the lifestyle, he takes them to the next level. And during pregnancy, he really, really was very protective over what I was consuming. And so if I was having certain cravings, he's like, no, you can't. We no, and he would do his best to educate me on what the implications of eating certain things. However, as I'm going through these transformations emotionally, mentally, spiritually, it wasn't really his place to do that. And that's why I say bless his heart, because he just didn't know. It wasn't his place to do that. Um, when you are pregnant, you have this intuition. You know, you have cravings, you have things that come up within you for a reason. And this is your time to really honor you. This is your time as a woman to listen to you. It's not the time to listen and do things that other people tell you that you should do. This is the time to be assertive. And coming from my experience, my background of being a people pleaser, I told you guys at the beginning of the video of just experiencing so much anger and resentment because I was not honoring myself. And so during this pregnancy, it really showed me, wow, like I feel down at the dumps because I'm not honoring myself. And not only am I not honoring myself, but I'm also surrounding myself around people who don't understand what's happening to me, people who can't hold space for me, people who are asserting their will instead of allowing me to come into the space of asserting mine and standing my ground. Hold on, y'all. Pregnancy is the time for a woman to really tap into her intuition. You know, this is the time for her to be in tune with her own body, not to listen to these external influences, you know. And I think that as the person who's carrying the child, that can be, you know, especially if you're not used to that, it can be a big deal. And for the person who's not carrying the child, you know, the man in this case, my partner in this case, you know, he was just asserting being protective, you know, making sure that based off of his knowledge, based off of his experiences, that I was doing what was best for me. So ultimately, I found myself in this place where I was around people that I didn't want to be around. I was eating food that I didn't want to eat, that wasn't nourishing me, you know, mentally, spiritually, physically, that just wasn't hitting, you know. I was just not getting enough movement in because I was in environments that I didn't want to be in. And I just had to walk away, y'all. That is how I overcame it. I had to make sure my needs were going to be met and that I wasn't going to experience so much resistance from my external reality, whether that was coming from friends, family, my partner, anybody. You know, because in pregnancy, there's so many people who tell you what you should do. And if you are constantly listening to them, you are going to be depressed. There is going to be a dark cloud over your life because you're not honoring this maternal intuition that is turning on within your being. You know, you're not honoring what comes up for you. You know, what is going to truly nourish you. You know, other people don't know what's happening within your being. And I won't lie, I was afraid of being judged. But there comes a point where you just get over it as a woman, especially knowing that you're about to bring a child into the world. You can't be afraid of being judged because a lot of people are going to have an opinion on what you do and how you do it. And that is their opinion, you know. That is their reality. It's not yours. And so I had to come to that knowing myself, and it just happened naturally, you know. It's like pregnancy is an initiation into motherhood. So these things just naturally turn on within you, but it happens so rapidly that it's like your whole life is crashing down, and it definitely has been rebuilt. It is going to be rebuilt, but it's just a process and of death and rebirth, you know, of renewal, of transformation. And so how I overcame depression was I had to put myself in an environment where I could be properly nurtured. I had to surround myself around people who understood what I was going through, people who had been through what I was going through, so that they can have some type of empathy for me when I would come and I would share certain experiences. They got me. I had to start eating foods that truly nourished me. Guys, it was very hard for me. At some point, I've been vegan for about 8-9 years. And at some point in my pregnancy, I had some eggs. And it was very it was very hard for me to consume that because of all of the judgment and the shame that, I had been on this vegan journey for so long, and what I'm eating eggs, and I'm falling into these cravings, and there's just so much information out there on eggs and what they could do. That's neither here or there. I ate the eggs, and after I ate the eggs, I didn't crave them anymore. And now I'm just eating plant-based once again. But I had to honor that. I had to honor that. And had I been around people who were just super critical, people who didn't understand, man, I would have been super, super depressed. I would have felt like crap. And so I'm so happy that I can, I'm so happy that I honored myself and that I made sure that I had moved to a space to where my needs were going to be met. I moved to a space to where I knew I was going to be taken care of properly, rather than surrounding myself around energies and people that were just not conducive for my experience being a pregnant woman. And also I had to get out. I had to get some sun. I had to spend time in nature. I had to drink water. I had to take multivitamins, y'all. Had to take multivitamins. I was around so many people, these conspiracy theorists, and we don't take vitamins and all this other stuff, and there's just this diet extremes. You get me? And I had to say to myself, I don't care what you think I should do. I'm gonna take these vitamins. Start taking the vitamins. Start taking omega-3s. Guys, I feel so much better. I feel amazing. I realized that I wasn't depressed at all. My needs just weren't being met. My needs weren't being met. I'm a happy person. We are happy people. We are happy people. Emotions and feelings and things come up within us because our needs are not being met. Once you meet those needs, you will see the truth of who you are. And so I'm just so happy to share this information with you guys because it's very simple information. Surround yourself around good company. Say some prayers, affirm your life, be around people who can support you and nurture you during pregnancy. People who can hold space for you. Get some sunlight. Eat good quality food. Eat things that truly nourish you and, make you feel good. It's okay to succumb to the cravings. Allow yourself to, you know. You're not going to die. You're not going to die. Life ain't going to be over. You have to release the judgment. You have to get people out of your head, and you have to ask yourself, well, what do I think? What do I want? What do I believe in? What's going to be best for me? Because people don't understand the transformation and all of the things that are happening within your being. And you listening to other people is not going to get you anywhere. It's not. It's going to leave you depressed, angry, and resentful. So I hope these tips helped. I hope my story, everything that I've shared, I hope that you can relate to it and that you can take what I have shared and extrapolate what it is that you need so that you can have the pregnancy that you desire, so that you can be happy, healthy, and vibrant, because what you feel, the baby feels. So thank you guys so much for joining me here in this video. Peace.